once again to It's a Mystery, and another collection of amazing mysteries. Yes, we're here to astound and baffle you.
Gail and I have been out once again tracking down some bizarre tales that had us well and truly puzzled.
And in the studio, as usual, we'll attempt to solve them all. Amongst today's collection of mysteries are these strange reports.
Is it possible to predict the future? An amazing story about a lady who thinks she has.
And what are these eerie concrete giants that stand looking out to sea?
And have you ever tried to crack a code? We'll show you how.
Okay, so let's kick off with a really weird mystery. Now, do you think that it's possible to predict the future? Well, that's exactly what happened to one housewife from Cleethorpes. She thought she saw a news flash about an accident before it actually happened.
Hi, see you tonight.
Beryl Thanet was a lady of habit. Every morning she'd pack the family off to school and work before settling down to watch the morning telly with a cup of tea.
One price. So there you go. I can't believe it. In fact, I'm going to have to go and have a sit down. Well done, Maureen.
A little later on, about half an hour into a favourite show, a news flash interrupted the programme. Beryl checked her watch. It was now midday.
Hello. We are just getting reports of crowd chaos and employee turmoil after an explosion at Lauckett's factory in the City Retail Park. Our reporters are on their way to the scene of the incident as we speak. However, we can tell you that the east wing of the building has collapsed.
Beryl remembered it was 12 o'clock when she heard about the accident at the factory.
This evening at 6 o'clock.
Although Beryl was shocked by the story, she was also a bit annoyed that her favourite programme had been interrupted. Just as she got back into the show, the doorbell rang.
Oh, I wonder who that can be.
She decided that she obviously wasn't meant to watch the show and went to the door to answer it.
Hello, Beryl.
Hello. Hello, come on in.
Thanks.
We're just on our way down to the shop. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. It's just as well you popped by. I've just heard a news flash. There's been an explosion at the factory. What, the one down by the shop? Yes, apparently. A wall collapsed.
Well, it's a good thing we called in then.
Anyway, now you're here. Stay and have some lunch. Oh, that would be
thanks.
nice.
Once they got chatting, there was no stopping them.
Well, we would do if we could afford it.
Well, I couldn't bear all that travelling with the kids on the aircraft, remember?
Lunch soon led into afternoon tea, and finally at about 6 o'clock in the evening, after gallons of tea, coffee and biscuits, Beryl's friends finally managed to drag themselves away.
Okay, so Beryl had spent the morning at home, she'd heard the news flash about the accident at midday, and she'd spent the afternoon with friends. But it wasn't till I got up to leave that the story started to take a strange twist.
Lovely, Beryl. Here's your coat, love.
Yes, thank you, we must be getting on.
Oh, wait a minute. Look, it's the
Good evening.
news.
On Scene Northeast tonight, chaos and confusion at Lauckett's factory as wall collapsed at 5 o'clock today. There was chaos today as a crowd gathered around Lauckett's factory, Cleethorpes. They were there because a wall collapsed at 5 o'clock today, trapping 16 members of staff.
Although all three of them were genuinely upset at the event, they laughed and remarked how incompetent the news team were, as the newsreader had said that the wall collapsed at 5 o'clock.
Typical, they always get it wrong. It happened at 12 o'clock, not 5 o'clock.
Yes, they're always getting these things wrong. Come on, dear, we better go.
Beryl knew that the news team had made a mistake. I mean, after all, she'd seen the original news flash at midday, just a few minutes after the incident had happened. Beryl saw her friends off and thought nothing more of it. The next day, the Cleethorpes Herald came through the letterbox with the headline, "Factory Fiasco at 5." Reading on, Beryl saw that the incident at the bakery was reported to have happened at 5 o'clock, the same time as reported on the evening news.
So what's going on? Beryl said she had heard about the accident at midday, but the evening news and newspapers said it didn't happen until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So could she have seen an event before it actually happened?
Beryl went down to a newsagent and checked out all the papers, and every single one reported that the incident happened at 5 p.m, not at midday. Beryl went stone cold. How on earth could she have known that this was going to happen?
Although initially Beryl had thought that the evening news programme had made an error, there's no way that every single newspaper could have made the same mistake. Obviously, the accident did happen at 5 o'clock. Beryl concluded that somehow she must have witnessed an event before it actually happened. Weird, eh? Okay, it's a mystery who or what does all of this in 1 year.
Well, to start with, they breathe enough air to fill not 1, not 100, not 1,000, but around 40,000 of these balloons.
They swallow 600 litres of liquid. That's enough to fill a garden pond.
And they pump enough blood to fill not 1, not 100, not 1,000, not even 1 million, but 4 million ketchup bottles.
So who or what do you reckon it is? Maybe a big animal? Here's some more clues.
In a year, this being wheeze enough wee to fill 71 buckets.
Ooh, they walk 782 miles. That's the distance from London to Barcelona in Spain.
And they lose enough skin to fill this bag.
Ugh. Well, have you got it yet? It's the most amazing creature. Actually, it's you and me. In fact, all of us. Yep, during our lifetime, the average person does all of those things in 1 year. And we haven't finished yet. Of all the things we do, it's what we eat that's the most incredible. Believe it or not, in 1 year, the average person munches through enough food to stock a corner shop.
Yep, and here's just a taster of things an average person might eat in a year. Thank you, Neil. We could suck and chew on 13 kilograms of sweets and chocolates.
There you go, mate. Milk delivery.
Oh. And get this, we guzzle and pour around 112 litres of milk and cream.
You like your toast?
Can you see me? We toast and slice all of this around 47 loaves of bread each.
Apple a day. Or should I?
No.
You okay?
We peel and pip an incredible 66 kilograms of fruit. That's the same as 700 apples.
Hey, I got off lightly here. We scoff and dunk loads of cakes and biscuits, around 84 packets.
Watch the egg, watch the egg. It's
We
breakable.
whisk, crack and poach about 250 eggs each.
Hey. And then we sweeten our food and scare our teeth with something like 11 bags of sugar.
Oh, I'll tell you what, heavy work that, isn't it? And you know, this is just some of it. In fact, an average person will eat their way through £786, 76 pence worth of food every year. Mystery solved.
It's a mystery how a small spider can travel 2,000 kilometres without moving a muscle. How do you think it does that?
Does it weave itself a sail out of its web and use the wind to carry it along?
Or does it make the journey in the ear of a migrating Canadian goose?
Or does it just hitch a ride on the famous Trans-Siberian Railway?
What do you think?
Well, in fact, there is a spider known as the balloon spider, and it uses thin strands of web to catch the wind.
The wind carries up to 2,000 kilometres from one spot to the next without it having to move a muscle.
Wow.
Here's one for you. It's a mystery how sometimes things aren't quite what they seem, as Gail found out recently. See if you can work this one out.
It started when I was out taking a stroll along the coast. The only sound that could be heard was the sound of the shingle beneath my feet. I was taking in the view across the barren landscape when suddenly I came across this. A huge mass of concrete. Is it a wall? Well, it curves inwards as though it's trying to engulf someone or something. Standing at nearly 10 metres high, it's in stark contrast to its surroundings, looking grey and sinister. And just a few metres away, I found another weird thing, a sort of sculpture carved out of a gigantic slab of concrete, surrounded by water and shingle. And as if they weren't weird enough, here's another slightly different looking sculpture, looming like a prehistoric satellite dish, taller and deeper than the others. This one has got a sinister metal rod growing from the heart of the bowl.
So what do you reckon? What could they be? Some sort of undercover spy device? Are they used to plot alien activity in outer space? Or are they an ancient scanner used for predicting weather conditions?
After some further investigation from reading some old books, I found out that this wall used to have microphones standing on a forecourt in front of it. And if you check the records, you'll find that these structures are in fact facing out to sea. I've also found out that at one time there was plans to build a whole chain of these around the coast. And when they were built around 67 years ago, if you stood close enough to these eerie structures, you could have heard distant noises way out to sea.
So we've got a real mystery on our hands. Okay, let's recap the clues. Strange concrete objects near the coast, pointing out to sea and capturing distant sounds. Any idea? All right, let's see if Gail can shed any more light on this particular mystery.
They were built around 1930 in between the two world wars. They were an experimental device designed to pick up sounds from approaching enemy aircraft at sea. These things are actually acoustic mirrors. The operation of these circular mirrors relied upon the collection of sounds from the surface of the bowl. The sounds then enter a trumpet, which would be on the top of this pole, travel down tubing connected to stethoscopes worn by the operators. Some of these mirrors had chambers down below where the operators would sit and listen. Whereas, for this one, the operators would have to stand outside in the elements on the concrete slab and listen.
So, the acoustic mirrors were built to gather and funnel the sounds of approaching enemy aircraft. A little bit like a satellite dish picks up TV pictures. What would happen is the sound would come in and be gathered in the mirror and get reflected back onto the trumpet or microphone in the middle and then fed down to the listener. However, the funny thing is, the acoustic mirrors were never actually used because a more high-tech method of spotting enemy aircraft was invented just in time for the Second World War. Radar. So of course, the mirrors weren't needed anymore. Still, at least we've solved the mystery of what they are.
It's a mystery what makes ice cream so creamy.
Could it be because ice cream is frozen slowly?
Or do they add seaweed to the ice cream to ensure creamy results?
Or is it simply to do with the cream itself?
What do you think?
Believe it or not, it's seaweed that makes the ice cream so creamy.
An extract from seaweed stops it becoming icy as it freezes, keeping it smooth and creamy.
Right then, I've got a puzzling mystery for you. See if you can work out what the secret message is hidden in these three codes. Take a look at them, see them? Codes.
Well, there's a lot of letters and numbers, but they're all muddled up. They make no sense.
No, it looks like a complete load of nonsense, Neil.
It's not a complete load of nonsense. I'll give you a clue. They're in English.
So if we can crack the code, we're going to get the secret message.
Yeah. You're looking at me with those. Give us another clue, eyes.
Please
you want
do,
another
yes.
clue? All right, okay.
We're
Let's
not
start
gonna
with
do it
the
on our
first
own.
part. Let's start with the first part. Now, this is a very simple code. If I just put that on there, you'll see that the letters of the alphabet are written there, and the letters of the alphabet are written backwards underneath. And they are the code letters that are the first part of the message. Now, to crack the code, all you have to do is to look at the top and bottom line and substitute the code letter along here for the real letter.
Let's give this a shot.
Easy.
All right, so the G becomes a T.
Yeah.
Here we go, there's the T. The S, and S becomes an H. All right, I'm getting into this.
Yep.
Z becomes an A. There's G, so that's
G.
another T.
And
the H becomes an S. So that's that.
Good code?
Yeah.
Simple code. That's
Next
brilliant.
bit.
Well
I
done.
like this.
Now that was quite easy. See if you can do this one. Look at this. The strip of material. Take a close look at that one.
It's ridiculous.
Can
It
you work
doesn't make
out
any
how
sense.
Gobbledygook?
Yeah.
Okay. What you need is one of these. This is a code stick.
Well, it's all so much clearer.
Thanks. the code stick, the old code stick.
Well, look, don't knock it, because the ancient Greeks used to use one of these. And what they did is they'd wrap a strip of leather round the stick like that, and then they would write across the leather. I'm just going to do something I know very well.
Do you write often?
There you go.
Something that you can't spell.
There you go. And when they'd written it, what they would then do is they would unwrap it like that. Can you just hold that stick on me?
Yep.
Thank you. And see the letters there? They would then add some more letters in there just to make it look like a pile of nonsense. See that? Get that?
But yet when they wrapped it round, all they could read was your name.
And when they wrapped it round, all they read was my name. So there you go.
All right.
There's your stick. And
I have my code bit.
yeah, you can have your code.
All right,
There's your
then.
code.
There we
So
go.
for that.
Okay.
See if you can work that one out.
So if we wrap this round this way.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the most effective codes, and spies still use this today. The obvious thing is the sender and the receiver have to have identical sticks.
Okay.
So just wrap it round and see if you can see
Here we go.
the message.
Get in there. Do
Ah,
you want to give me a hand here?
There you go.
All right, so it
Tristan.
says, how
You
crack. So the message so far is that's how you crack.
That's how you crack.
Okay.
That's how you crack. And here's
Bring it
the
on.
third part. Well done. There you go. That's how you crack.
Number code.
Number code.
But
Number
but
code.
They're just numbers. I mean, how do you get from 3 numbers to solving the code?
Okay, to crack this code, you have to have the right book.
And you just happen to have the code book, I suppose.
And I just happen to have the code book, you suppose. There it
All
is.
right. Now this is just a regular book.
Yeah, it's just an ordinary book. Obviously, the sender and the receiver of the code have to have the same book. But if you take a look at the numbers, wait for it. This one refers to the page number in the book. This one to the line number in the book. And this one to the word number
All right.
in the book.
So it's page
Let's take this
78.
Page 78.
Easy when you know how, you see.
Line 2,
So
word 5 is it.
It.
So that's how you crack it.
that's how you crack it. And you have.
Very
Well
clever.
done. Well, that's it. Some mysteries we've managed to solve, and of course, many more remain unsolved.
Okay, you two, I've got one last mystery for you. Some months I've got 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 days, have September, April,
June, November and all that stuff, yeah.
Some I've got 31.
Yeah? Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So how many? I've got 28 days.
28 days.
February, unless it's a leap year.
Nope. All of them do. Get it?
Oh,
That's...
I think on that note, we better go. See ya.
Yeah.
I got you though. I got you.
did get it.
If you've got a mystery that you'd like us to try and solve, then write to us at this address. It's a mystery, P.O. Box 1234, Maidstone, Kent, ME14 5XX.
Last week's closing mystery was a man holding a water glass that was filled right to the top, dropped it on the floor. So how come not one tiny drop of water was spilt? The answer is, the glass was filled, but not with water.